evening, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, back for a pre-auto assembly bad bot bonanza. I like that. I think that's going to stick. So the last time I was here, I showed you some bots, and I had a good response to that. I showed you some bots that if I didn't have them in my collection, then I would really want them, and I like them. Good bots, really, really good bots. And of course, for every yin, there's a yang. As they say, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So these are the bots that, if I didn't have them, I would have wanted them. But then having gotten them, would have been instantly disappointed. Very disappointed. Now these are bots that are, in my opinion, are very disappointing. I always like to see people show bots that they really like and bots that they really dislike. Now there are quite a number of bots in my collection that I think are terrible. Any of the Titanium Megatrons spring to mind. The vast majority of the movie bots I find very, very disappointing. But these are kind of exceptions. These are bots that actually promised long before I got them. These are bots that promised things to me and just absolutely, positively did not deliver. So we are very close to auto assembly. We're less than 4 weeks, so we're even less than a month, and that's very exciting. And I've cut my hair yet again. That's just the way other people have said. It's not just me. It's not just a phenomenon, a personal phenomenon. I've noticed it among a few other YouTubers have sent me messages saying, I also cut my hair. Timey's letting his grow. I'm crazy about it. It's not the weather for long hair. Trust me, I'm someone who has lots of thick, long hair. That is when it's long. And it's not good on a hot day. So green t-shirt, there's lots of green t-shirts abounding, and there's lots of haircuts abounding, and there's lots of videos. Even George, I haven't watched it yet, but I know George has posted up one, and that's great. So exciting. So we're all here. The old gang are back again. So I'm going to start with that bot. Um, Picture it, Sicily, 1984. Now, I came back to Transformers at Cybertron. Yes. It was nearly 10 years ago, Christmas 10 years ago. It was probably 10 years ago this year, but someone got me a bot for Christmas. And that rekindled. And it was a rekindling for me because the fire had never really gone out. There was always a little pilot light on for me. And so it was rekindled whenever I got, it was the Armada Jetfire, who himself is fine. You know, it's a okay bot. There are some bots that are okay, there are some bots that are amazing, and there are some bots that are just, what? So I came back in at Cybertron, and I have most of Cybertron. There are a few things I don't have. Thunderclash, Andy, is the other one that I want. And I know you have a Scourge. But I also want the Thunder. I'm looking for a Thunderclash this year. So Thunderclash was one of the bots I didn't get. I'm not talking about Thunderclash. Mudflap was also one of the bots that I didn't get. And I wanted Mudflap. With awful characterization from the cartoon. Animated series, excuse me. Awful characterization. So when he appeared in the live action movie line, and I think it was the first live action movie line, I jumped at the chance to get him. But unfortunately, he was yellow. Now, there is a problem with yellow bots, and that yellow bots tend to look cheap, a bit like knockoffs. And this guy really does look like a knockoff. In the packet, he looked a bit, and I thought, well, bots are always better in the hand, but in the hand, this guy just didn't deliver. Now, you see, this mode is, it's alright, it's whatever, but wait till you see this bot. Yes. Now, I find him insanely ugly in this mode. He to me is almost certainly the ugliest Transformer that I've got. He looks so cheap. He looks like a knockoff. Nothing about this guy is appealing. He looks insipid. He's pallid. He's very unimpressive. He looks like he's been sitting in the sun for 14 years. He's just ugly. He's like a really bad custard that did not set. Now, what beggars my belief is how this guy seems to, he's held his value on the secondary market. I don't know how that's happened. Because when I got him, he was 20 quid. I can't believe I bought this fucker. I got him home and I opened up, and he's been living in a box ever since. Maybe one of the reasons why he commands so much in the secondary market is people are so disappointed by him that they just put him in their box and he's been languishing there all these years and he's in such good condition. But this guy is fugly. If I meet you and you tell me that you're looking for this bot at auto assembly, I will judge you badly, ladies and gentlemen. And now onto another yellow bot, and this is Energon Hotshot, and admittedly he looks okay in this mode. It's kind of standard fare, there's nothing really remarkable about it. This guy promised so much because he was the successor to Bumblebee's Throne, and he was yellow, and he was enigmatic, and he appeared on the cartoon animated series, and he was meant to be wonderful. But we go from this to this. You see, you get these bots home, and I was collecting, before I got them, I'd been collecting Transformers for 4 or 5 years. And most bots that come in, I go, oh, this is exciting, and I get it in my hand, and I have a play, and I go, yes, it's good. But something like this, I get it into my hand, and I have a play and go, oh, Christ, I can't believe I paid money for that. He looks like he's just come off a neck brace. He looks like he's got elephantiasis. His arms are so badly positioned, just like the Armada Hotshot 2, who nearly made it onto this list. His proportions are horrendous. They're absolutely everything about him is wrong. He's ugly, he looks cheap, he doesn't pose, and he's just bad. So these bots are in no particular order of horrendousness. They're all just kind of equally shite. And we're back to Energon, and we're going with this terrible, terrible bot that is Energon Ironhide. Now the alt mode's fine. It's unremarkable, but the bot mode is absolutely horrendous. He's completely without proportion. He's without any kind of aesthetic reference. You can't look at him and decide that he looks like anything. If he looks like anything, he looks like a sofa that someone has spent 5 minutes trying to take apart with a claw hammer. That's what he looks like. Either that or a play skull toy. He's got this look on his face, this odd smirk that makes me want to punch him. His feet are horrendous. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going. These legs are the worst legs of any Transformer everywhere. You see, I got this guy new, and he was sealed and packaged, and I think I got him. I probably paid about 20 quid for him. This might have been about 5, 6 years ago, and I was excited when he arrived. And he looked great in his box because he was in his alt mode, and you get it out and you transform it. And again, it was like, you look off into the middle of the distance and you suck your teeth and you go, I paid money for that. Fucking awful. No, I don't really like movie bots. And I don't like the Transformers movies. In fact, it could be said that I like the movie bots more than I like the Transformers movies. And I dislike the movie bots intensely. So, the next toy is a movie bot. Now, I could pick an awful lot of movie bots. But there are some good things about some movie bots. For me, I think that the Seekers from the first movies are incredibly good. And I really like them. I've got them all up there. I've got Thundercracker, Skywarp, Ramjet, and of course Starscream. And I generally like the leader class toys, but it's the deluxes that leave me cold. It's the deluxes that leave me really cold, which is unfortunate because it is modern deluxes I find where the engineering and the paint apps are at their optimum. For example, when you get to the Prime line, if you get a deluxe, you're going to get a pretty good bot. When you go lower than the deluxe, the Cyberverse stuff, the engineering and the molding starts to suffer. The hands start to look a bit like they don't really look like anything, and the feet disappear altogether. And then when you get up towards the Voyager and even further when you get up to the Ultimate class size, stuff really starts to suffer. Then the quality of the plastic, as the quality of the plastic seems to me to stay the same, and the paint apps, the frequency of the application of the paint app stays the same as it would for a deluxe. So whenever the last movie came out, I had it in my mind that the movie was going to be better and the bots were going to be better. I was ready to forgive Michael Bay and I was ready to forgive Hasbro. I took Michael Bay's movies a personal insult to my love for Transformers, and I also took the Hasbro Takara movie toys as a personal insult for my love of Transformers. I disliked them so intensely. So I went back. I went into the shop at the time of the first wave one of the new deluxes for the last movie, and I was ready to forgive everybody everything, and I picked up Roadbuster. He was one of the first that I picked up, and got home full of anticipation, full of the willingness to forgive, and I opened up the box, and it just all came back. All that vitriol and disappointment came back, and this bot, to me, typifies everything that's bad about the movies. This is probably the worst movie toy for me. He's very light. Look at the paint apps; they're kind of non-existent. Um, this is what you've got to contend with in terms of hands. It was just really, really ugly, and I was deeply saddened that day. I actually think I went and had a wee cry in a corner of a room. Now, when all the the promo stuff for animated came out, before it actually was released as an animated series, and before the toy line came out, I was looking at the screenshots and I was looking at the promo art, and I just thought everything was wrong about it. I thought everything was wrong. I thought they got everything wrong, and I thought it was going to be horrendous. But I was completely wrong. I loved every minute of animated, every minute except one. I loved the animated series, and I loved the bots. The bots felt great. They looked great. They were full of character. They really were, and they posed fantastic. Some wonderful imaginative alt modes. Fantastic reimagining of well-loved bots. Everything was beautiful. But these guys, this was a big full stop for me. This was Jetfire, Jetstorm, and their combined mode Safeguard. I just, like a lot of people, I just sucked up everything from animated toys. Yes, I get that. Yes, I got that, and I was constantly delighted by everything I got. These guys appeared. Yes, very excited. Get them, take them home. Spend half an hour with them because it's complicated. No, this is as good as they get. These are the bot modes, and the bot modes are okay. You see, this is the problem. Now you see the hand. That's the only time you get hands like that in animated. These guys let animated down. They did. They would have been animated would have been practically perfect if these guys hadn't have surfaced. The bot modes are flawed. Their alt modes are absolutely horrendous. Little nothings of jets that really don't amount to anything. They're, in my opinion, they are without interest. You don't need to see them. There's nothing to see there. They're little kind of flying blocks with no wings. They don't actually have any wings to speak of. And the combined mode of this guy is extremely disappointing against Safeguard. He looks a bit like a Harlequin, but he likes to fall apart. He doesn't stay together very well, and none of his limbs look especially good. So this is as good as these guys get. Now, they're probably not awful, but in a line like animated, that was nearly flawless. The fact that these guys were even bad at all really, really sticks out because otherwise animated would have been perfect. And last of the bots that I need to get out of my system is a contemporary bot. It's a bot that's on the shelves at the minute. It's a bot that retails for $34.99, and he's from the Prime line. And he is the bot that I got home having been relatively excited about it, and when I opened it up and having played with it for 20 minutes, I found myself, sucking my teeth and staring off in the middle distance and thinking, I can't believe I paid for that. It's this. This bot is so light. He weighs 285 grams, right? I can show you so many other bots that are heavier than it, and that's one of the main problems with it. He's light. He's full of holes. I could continue to do the review from behind his legs or from the side of his torso. He is without substance, and indeed he is without redemption because it's just not a good bot. He's without elegance. He's without flair. There's no finesse. The proportions are fine. Superficially, it looks okay, but the rest of it is an absolute hideous mess. The alt mode again looks okay from the front, but you realize when you look at it from the back and after having transformed it that it was designed very, very badly. In fact, I think it was probably designed by Opie from Family Guy. It's that badly designed. Even this little gimmick does not redeem it. It's absolutely horrendous. This bot is not worth its money. I don't have the Bumblebee. I have no desire to get the Bumblebee. This was at the start of the Prime line when I was enjoying most of the Prime line. The only big flaw at the beginning of Prime for me was Cliff Jumper, who I think is equally hideous. And I love big bots, and whenever this chance to get this big bot came along, I thought I'm going to give these big bots a go because I like to give big bots a go. And I got him home, and of course you open the box and you take him out and you go, ooh, he's light. That's a bad sign. If the bot is light, it's a bad sign. If the bot's light, you're going to be disappointed. But more than the disappointment of a light bot, you have the disappointment of a really badly designed bot. You've got this is the shoulder and arm array, and it looks like it's held together with dust and wishes. I'm scared for the I'm frightened for the longevity of this thing. I don't think it was intended to last very long. You know, Hasbro execs threw this thing together and thought, it'll probably break in about 6 months, and the kids will want a new one. Just really disappointing. Now, having gone to the Ultimate Predaking, whose street's better than this guy. It's almost like Hasbro to me at the start of the Prime line, and with a lot of what happened at the beginning of Prime line, thought, what we'll do is we'll give them an awful lot of shit at the beginning, and then when they start complaining, we'll make everything better again, because they'll buy anything that we throw out. And I certainly bought everything that they threw out, and I was disappointed with it. But I suppose they're getting a little better. But if you don't have this bot, don't get it, because it's not worth the money. I feel so much better for having gotten all that off my chest. I'll probably do something to kind of redeem myself after that the catharsis of getting that plethora of shite out of my system. They're sitting there in front of me, and I can feel the bile rising to the back of my throat. I'll do something pleasant soon. Yeah, that did feel better. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ray. That was my pre-auto assembly Bad Bot Bonanza. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get none of those bots at auto assembly. If they're on your list, please take them off.
Now that's what I call a